Maybe
and borrowed the
Mr.
car.
Russnick can talk
And I
to
borrowed the car.
her.
Then
I think
when I got
there's
arrested,
private things that
when I got arrested,
are ready to go. So. So Ms. Cosno has 2 felonies. Looks like she just cleared the warrants there as well. But
Seattle?
no, in Pierce County.
Pierce County.
But nothing has really happened at this point. That was just a few days ago.
Her first appearance was a few days ago, or the incident?
Well, one has been pending for a few months. Looks like she had looked into a mental health court referral, but that didn't happen. And then there were warrants, and then there's a newer charge. I think it's her first appearance was on yesterday, or sorry, on the 1st.
So at this juncture, what do we need to do?
So those are still pending. She is required to get a mental health evaluation, follow
which I have right here.
treatment, and we have not had that.
I do have
She has an evaluation right here. Just scan it real quickly. We just
Let Mr. Walls see it.
yeah. For that.
That's a discharge.
Yeah. Can I look at that?
So this is a discharge from the IPA. Back in July.
No, that was in, excuse me, that was in August.
Beginning of August is the discharge.
Okay. I mean, if your guy gets it together, you don't know that.
And then this referred her to
January 2nd.
mental health services in the community with counseling and medication management.
Oh, I saw him the other day when I missed a couple of minutes.
Give me a call if you want.
Yes,
No
what's your
pressure. RUS. I mean, if you don't want to.
No, I didn't. I can't have that.
We'll be okay.
So is there an actual mental health evaluation at some point?
Yes, in the beginning, Your Honor, when I first checked in, they evaluated me and decided that I needed to be medicated. And
There would have been a civil evaluation, and which is a mental health evaluation at source. They found her; she was gravely disabled, committed her, and then released her. And it says released to community mental health services with counseling and treatment. It doesn't really lay out a plan at that point, but that's where she needs to go.
That's okay.
Have you been in any community mental health services since then? Since the discharge?
yes, Your Honor, I'm continuing to see a physician with the MDC for prescription medication and counseling that I'm.
And do you have any updates on that you can provide? The progress in there?
Yes, I had a virtual appointment the other day. I guess I could get from him, and we talked about some other community resources for counseling, and also he renewed my medication, my prescription.
Right, so let's get that, and we also need to see the status of where the felonies are going to be going. How much time do you think that would be before we know anything on that, Mr. Walls? If that's just at the beginning, it seems like it probably is not going to happen overnight.
Yeah, I think the one that technically.
Do you have your case number?
I do.
I don't see that they're set for trial at this point. There was a trial date on the earlier case,
Part of the same felony?
but then with the warrant, it's gotten reset. So at least a couple months.
All right, so let's set this for December 7th date, and we'll check status at that point. We will need the information regarding your treatment, Ms. Cusino, okay?
As far as
The treatment, the community healthcare treatment you're in.
like
We need to-
ongoing counseling or whatever
Yes.
I'm doing, okay.
And then we're going to review status of the felonies at that point.
The one over in Lakewood.
All right. And we have an add-on on an arraignment.
I saw that.
And so, Tim,
Unfortunately.
have him fill out one of these.
Thank you.
Have him fill out a rights form if he hasn't done it. Oh, he's online. All right.
Okay, I'll give you a call. Thank you, Ron.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to go to the add-on. I think it's Michael Gorham. Can you hear me, sir? Michael Gorham.
Is that him on Michael?
He was online, I saw him.
Michael, can you hear me? You're on mute.
Hello?
Michael Gorham.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes. All right. You're here for arraignment.
Yeah. It was for my community service and my drug class. Those are the two things I had to do. And I
No,
went.
this is for arraignment for failure to transfer title. Is this Michael Gorham?
Yeah, I know. This is for the court. I had to do court, and then I had to do the community service and the drug class.
Not on this case. This is a failure to transfer title case.
So, what is that?
Let me
'Cause
see. This.
Did he get set? Which calendar?
I've never even heard
Oh,
about
wait,
that.
this is a 2002. This is a 2/2/23. Let me make sure there's not another file. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. Let's check and see if there's anything else got to
I do see there was a prior case that was closed. The pending case is a new failure to transfer title.
Yeah, the only case we have that it's pending in this, actually anywhere, it looks like, is this case, which is the failure to transfer title, and he hasn't been arraigned, right? All right.
Well, I don't know if Matt's here, but I talked to Matt a little bit ago because I had the drug class to do, and you guys only accept online, or not online, and that's all they do is online. I called all the drug places, and I talked to him, and he said to just come in with.
Mr. Gorham, we're just talking about a new pending law violation. The less you say, honestly, in court, the better. And that's just a general rule for court anytime.
All right. I'm going to go through your rights with you. Please listen. You're charged with a criminal offense that carries a possible jail sentence. You should understand you have the following rights. You're presumed innocent of any charge unless that charge is proven beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to a speedy trial. If you're held in jail, you must be brought to trial within 60 days. If you're released from jail, you must be brought to trial within 90 days. You have a constitutional right to a jury trial unless you specifically give up that right by signing a jury trial waiver. You have the right to see, hear, and question all witnesses who testify against you. You have the right to call witnesses on your own behalf. You may have the court subpoena those witnesses to appear and testify at no prior expense to you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney of your own choosing at arraignment and at all proceedings. If after your screening is determined you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Even though you do not have an attorney at arraignment, you do not waive your right to have an attorney at any later proceeding. If you feel you cannot have a fair trial because of the bias or prejudice of a particular judge, you have the right to ask for a different judge within 10 days of assignment to that judge. If you plead guilty, you have the right of appeal from any judgment of guilty entered by this court. To begin the appeal, you must file a written notice of appeal within 30 days of the judgment. If you plead guilty, you give up or waive all of your rights except for the right to be represented by an attorney. If you're not a citizen of the United States, a plea of guilty to an offense punishable as a crime of state law may be grounds for deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States, or denial of naturalization pursuant to the laws of the United States. Do you understand those rights, sir?
Yes, Honor.
All right.
And I can clarify. So the old case was a marijuana case that got dismissed early because of a subsequent appellate
Oh,
case.
yes, see, I did not know that.
So that one's all taken care of. The new one is just transfer title. Can you get the title of that car?
And what car is that on? For what cars?
It's a Toyota 1988 Toyota Camry. All right, so you're charged by the city of Orting that on or about 2/23/2021 in Orting, Washington, you committed a crime of failure to transfer title within 45 days. To that charge, a plea of not guilty is entered. Further formal readings hereby waived. Probable cause has previously been established. And have you been previously appointed on these cases, Mr. Rusnick?
On something else, not on this
Are you
case.
currently employed, sir?
No, I just got done working the Puyallup State Fair.
Okay.
That was like last week, and I'm working. I'm
right,
about
I'm
to go to
going
an
to-
interview this week.
I'm going to go, and I'm going to, at this point, appoint Mr. Rusnick.
I'm going to need to get the case number. It's not on the.
It is number 1A02800287.
I just sent you the discovery.
Oh, okay, great.
All right. I'm going to release you on your own personal recognizance. You have a release form.
Mr. Gorham, try to get that taken care of.
Okay, yeah. So basically, what I have to do is just I need the title back. That's all I need, or
You're going to have to get with Department of Licensing and get that squared away and get the title put in your own name. Yeah.
okay. All right, sounds good.
We're going to set this for November 2nd at 10 o'clock a.m. Make all court appearances, notify of any address change, no law violations. You understand those conditions, sir?
Yeah, September 2nd. You said at 10 a.m.
11/2, November.
Oh, okay. All right, sounds
Right.
good. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Okay, bye.
So that is arraignment calendar. All right, I'm going to go ahead and call the, Rachel, can you hear me, Rachel friend? We're going to send you to a breakout room with Mr. Rusnick. Rachel, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, so we're sending you to a room with Mr. Rusnick. And so, Mr. Rusnick, I'm going to call the next calendar and we'll see what we can do without you.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to move on.
All right, please answer if your name is called. Dondre Blackwell.
Here.
Jeffrey Bright.
Present with counsel. Here.
Okay, good morning.
Morning.
Andy Campo Payne. And Mr. Twitchell is on that. All right, Mackenzie Clay.
Here.
Good morning. And it's
Council President as well, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Paul Douglas. I thought I saw him earlier. Yep, I see you here, Mr. Douglas. Good morning.
We're still not working.
David Havoc. Good morning. Gail Hemmon. Colton Hess.
Present with counsel, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good morning. Annette Havarton. HRVATIN. Okay, it looks like you are here. Good morning. You're just muted. Colton Hess. You are here. Good morning. Cameron Hook.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Good morning.
Okay, hi. Good morning.
I
Sorry
see
about
it.
that.
That's all right. Cameron, I see you're here as well. Good morning. Jamie Johnston. Jamie Johnston.
Here.
Good morning.
Morning.
Danny Kawe.
Present with counsel, Your Honor.
Good morning. Thank you. Aaron Keller.
Present with counsel, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good morning. Dayton Cresser.
Present with counsel, Your Honor.
Your speaker thank you. Steve Livingood.
Yes, I'm present. Thank you.
Is your attorney here?
I think I saw him, Kurt Stender.
Let me see if I see him.
Can you hear? Can you hear me?
Who are you?
This is Kurt Stender, Mr.
Good
Living
morning.
Good.
Now I can hear you.
Thank
You
you.
kind of faded right in. Lance Monago. Christina McGill. Anthony Mclean. Good morning. Mr. Nair.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Good morning. Is Mr. Hop here?
He was here just a minute ago. I think he probably just disconnected.
All right. Jamie Nelson, I think I saw you online.
Yeah, I'm here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Rebecca Reed. Benjamin Roberts. Christopher Smith.
Present. Good morning.
Good morning. Willard Stewart. Dylan Stiles. I think I saw that name. Dylan Stiles. Okay, I don't see it. Allison
Yes, I'm
Walker. Okay, good morning.
Sorry.
Allison Walker.
Here.
Good morning.
Morning.
Gustavo Zuniga Romero.
Here.
Good morning.
Morning.
And I know Rachel's here. Kelly Kreibel. Oh, he's also in custody, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
So he's not being transported. We're not going to.
All right. And of those names, do you have any information on any of these we can deal with at this time?
Your Honor, yes. Dayton Kressler, my understanding is counsel is moving for continuance. The city does not have an objection.
All right. And Mr. Irinella? Irinella?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. Matthew Scout, Roberto Irinella's office. We are asking for continuance on this matter so Mr. Kresser can get relicensed 60 days if the court is willing, and we're willing to wait for that purpose.
All right. So this is the 5th. I can go to December 7th. Is that what you need?
December 7 works for me. Mr. Kresser, does that work for you?
Yeah, that works for me.
All right, so we'll do 12/7 at 10 o'clock, and that will be the new commencement date for speedy trial purposes.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, thank you so much.
Has your address changed, Mr. Kresser?
No.
All right, so we'll send that information to you and your attorney, and I'll indicate the new commencement date, and I will sign that order. You guys are free to go. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Bye.
Your Honor, Mr. Livinggood is also here. My understanding is to get an evaluation.
That's correct, Your Honor. Kurt Stender here with Mr. Livinggood.
All right, thank you. Let me see. And what are you asking for on this one, sir?
We're asking for another continuance, Your Honor. I'd asked for the same date, December 7th. Mr. Livinggood's obtained one evaluation already, but Mr. Wall and I think that maybe another evaluation might be more suitable. And so that's where we're at in the process. Mr. Livinggood has been struggling financially with his work selling cars, so I'd ask for the December 7th date, please.
And he's waiving speedy trial with the new commencement date at 12/7?
Yes, please.
All right. You're free to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, Mr. Huff is here on the Nair case. I believe we reached a settlement on this case. He may need to talk to his client in a breakout.
All right. Mr. Hunt, can you hear us?
Your Honor, good morning. I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me okay?
I can. Did you want to go into a breakout room with Mr. Nair?
Well, I don't think I need to meet with him. I think we're okay. I just want to make sure that Mr. Walls has added that additional language we discussed. But if he has, I think we're ready to move forward.
And I did email that back to you. Are you able to sign it?
Oh, I didn't see that. Yes. So I need to e-sign it and send that back to you?
Yeah, if you could.
Yeah, no problem.
And in the meantime, I have Mr. Bogolub is here on the Who matter from the 9:30, and that's ready.
Okay. And what are we doing on Mr. Who?
Your Honor, this is a motion amendment to a nuisance infraction at 175.
Good morning, Your Honor. For the record, Rule 9, Konstantin Bogolyubov, present for attorney of record, Boris Petrenko. No objection to the amendment, and we answer as committed.
Thank you. All right, I've amended to nuisance upon payment of $175. The case is closed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. All right.
Mr. Harbison is here on two cases. Mr. Hess is one. My understanding is that it's being continued, hopefully for disposition the next hearing.
All right.
That's correct, Your Honor. For the record, Michael Harbison on behalf of Mr. Hess. Your Honor, I do believe we have reached an agreed resolution. I need a little bit of time to go over that with Mr. Hess and the paperwork. We're asking for a brief continuance.
You want it in the 2 week, the next slot in 2 weeks?
That would be fine with me, Your Honor.
So that would put us at October 19th.
Does that work with you, Mr. Hess?
Yes, that works with me.
So that'll be at 10 a.m. This is an excluded period for speedy trial purposes.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Hess, thank you. You're free to go.
And Your Honor, Mr.
Thank you.
Mr. Harbison's other case is Mr. Bright. That is, we've reached a resolution that I've forwarded a guilty plea to the clerk.
All right. So if you can find that on Bright.
Correct, Your Honor. For the record, Michael Harbison on behalf of Jeffrey Bright, present via Zoom. We do consent to the Zoom video proceeding, actually Blue Jean video proceeding for purposes of this guilty plea. I believe the city's going to be making a motion to amend from driving license suspended second degree to that of driving license suspended third degree. To that amendment, we have no objection.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. Upon the city's motion to amend, I shall amend from DWS second to driving license suspended third. And you may do your colloquy.
Your Honor, I have gone over this guilty plea with Mr. Hess via telephone today. Mr. Hess does understand he's given up his constitutional rights to a jury trial, his right to testify, his right to have witnesses testify for him at no expense. Also, he's given up his presumption of innocence and his right to an appeal. Further, Mr. Bright understands that this could be grounds for exclusion or admission to the United States if he's not a U.S. citizen, and also that there's a maximum penalty of 90 days of jail and a $1,000 fine. Mr. Bright understands that although there's an agreed recommendation, Your Honor is not bound by that recommendation and can impose up to that maximum penalty as permitted by law. Your Honor, I do believe Mr. Hess is entering into this guilty plea today knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily.
All right. Thank you. All right. And you're Jeffrey Donald Bright?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you heard what your attorney just told me?
Yes, sir.
And you're aware of those very important constitutional rights under number 5 of this form?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand them?
Yes.
And then are there any you'd like to go over?
No.
Under number 6, there's a recommendation. It is only a recommendation. I can impose it the maximum penalty. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone made any promise or threats to make you sign this form?
No.
You're doing so freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
It says under number 11, in Orting, Washington, I drove my motor vehicle while my license was suspended in third degree for failure to maintain liability insurance, and I received notice of the license suspension from the DOL. Is that a true and correct statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I will make a finding that the plea of guilty is knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily made. I don't have a notice of appeal, so if you could send that in, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, if Mr. Walls could forward that to me, I'll attach the electronic signature to that.
And Mr. Walls, I understand it says the recommendation is simply case is closed.
That's correct, Your Honor. I would note that this is a driving suspended second. He has his license back. It was pursuant to a test that, after this case, was then filed as DUI, which he has now resolved and is on probation for.
So you're asking no fine and no fees?
That's correct.
All right.
Yeah, so the underlying DUI case has been resolved. He's dealing with all those issues there.
All right.
That's it.
So I have made the fine of guilty. Beyond a reasonable doubt, the case is now closed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And you are free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too.
Your Honor, we could address Danny Coway.
And good morning, Your Honor. Alistair DeBreo for Mr. Danny Coway, who is also here via video.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
There it is. And Your Honor, we're here for a a plea to an amended charge today.
Okay. All right. And the charges amended from what to what?
Driving spend second to driving spend third.
Okay. On the city's motion, it's so amended. You may continue with your call of prayer.
Thank you, Your Honor, and no objection to that amendment. Mr. Cave and I have gone over that plea in detail. He understands that the rights that he's given up, the very important rights. He understands that this guilty plea may have some repercussions if he is not a U.S. citizen. He understands the maximum penalty is 90 days in jail and $1,000 fine. And he also understands that this is just a recommendation, and if Your Honor sees fit, Your Honor can sentence him up to the maximum. Your Honor, I feel that he is making this plea knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily, and we ask the court to accept his plea of guilty.
Thank you. And you are Danny Cave?
Yes, sir.
And you understood what your attorney just told me?
I do.
You're aware of those very important constitutional rights under number 5?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are there any you'd like to go over?
No, sir.
And then under number 6, there is a recommendation. It is only a recommendation. I can impose up the maximum penalty. You understand that?
I do.
Has anyone made any promise or threats to make you sign this form?
No, sir.
And you're doing so freely and voluntarily?
I am.
And under number 11, it says, on June 21, 2021, in Orting, Washington, I, Danny Cave, drove a motor vehicle. My license was invalidated or suspended. Is that a true and correct statement?
Yes, sir.
Right. I'll make a finding that the plea of guilty is knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily made. And I'll read the police report. It seems like this one, was there any corrections to the previous one, Mr. Wallace? Because the one I have doesn't have your signature.
Oh. I don't believe there's any corrections. The one I think not addressed was there's tracking no insurance ticket.
Okay.
We agreed to mitigate.
All right.
And I will send it.
All right. Based on the police report, I will make the finding that on or about 6/21/2021 in Orting, Washington, defendant committed the crime of driving while license suspended in the third degree. I make that finding guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Is there anything you'd like to tell me before I proceed to sentencing?
No, sir.
Your Honor, just briefly, Mr. Cave had a Department of Licensing suspension. He actually thought that it was over. Simple mistake. He immediately got relicensed. Everything was clear with insurance that he had at the time. So he's on the right track, and I think he appreciates the court giving him this opportunity to move forward.
And is there a basis on this one, Mr. Walls, for having no fees?
Your Honor, in this case, the underlying charge was never filed. So the city was asking. City was asking for fees on that.
Okay. So the criminal conviction fee and the criminal traffic fee are the only two fees. That's $102.50 and $43. Other than that, the case is going to be closed. Once those fees are paid, the case is closed.
Thank you, Your
Danny,
Honor.
did you get that? Okay. Here.
All right, you're free to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Walls.
Oh, wait. Stop. We didn't do the no insurance.
Oh.
All right, let me take a real quick peek here at the. All right, on Mr. Cave.
Yes, sir.
Can you go a year without getting a ticket?
I can.
All right, so I'm going to do 175, no tickets for 1 year, and your case will be dismissed.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Here, I'll just give you the file. Like a handy pieces of it.
This meeting is being broadcast on Facebook Live.
Are you ready, Miss Friend?
We are, Your Honor, yes.
All right. The competency evaluation.
Camera.
They're,
Okay. Okay. Can I call it?
yes.
Okay,
I'm
Rachel
just reading
Friend.
the report right now.
Okay, Rachel Friend, 2 cause numbers, 1AO518898, 1AO 670851, Matt Rusnak, counsel of record for Ms. Friend. Your Honor, at this time, we did set this over last time for a comp eval. She found competent. I spoke with her in the breakout room. I did look into possible other ways to get her into a treating relationship on an inpatient basis. It seems to me everything that I've looked at so far are really programs designed for the Superior Court. We don't really have an involuntary civil commitment process in courts of limited jurisdiction. And we don't have in the old days we had CDMHP and ways to refer people, and those programs are gone, at least until better economic times come back. I did talk to Ms. Friend, and I'm not going to go into too much detail.
Hold on a second. Folks, this is everything you're saying is being recorded because we have sensitive microphones. So I need you to take that outside if you do. Okay? Thank you.
I did talk to Ms. Friend without going into too much detail. I did explain that where we were at as far as possible treatment. She is amenable to treatment. She understands that probably inpatient treatment is what's called for and necessitated by the advanced, how advanced her symptoms are. And she understands that. She's willing to continue this a month so I can look into more with the speedy trial waiver, with the new commencement date being the new pretrial date. I did speak with her family, or the people right behind me, and they also are going to look into opportunities for private funding, because if it gets to that, that may be the way to go. I do think that while I can certainly understand where Ms. Friend is coming from, I'm sure nobody particularly enjoys jail. I think enforced abstinence, even if it's by way of being in jail, is probably a good thing. It gives her a little more time to get the cobwebs out of her mind a little bit and maybe approach treatment with a more even-handed, a little more alacrity to treatment. In any case, her family's going to look into some funding. I'm going to see if there's anything else available. I did look. I mean, she was only found competent the other day, yesterday or the day before, I can't recall. So I haven't had a lot of opportunities to look, but what I did look for isn't available at this level. But that doesn't necessarily mean there's nothing out there. It just means I haven't discovered it yet. And again, her family's going to be looking into funding alternatives as well. So I'm asking for 30-day continuance with a new commencement date as of pretrial.
No objection.
I just don't think I'll be able to figure anything out in 2 weeks. I'm going to be honest. 30.
All right, Miss Friend, can you hear me? You're muted at the jail. I don't have your video or your microphone on. Miss Friend, can you hear me?
equivalent in Pierce County at all? It's still around, it's just. CDMP, yeah.
Program where.
But you have to be a king. I'm asking, is there a counterpart here? That's what I was asking.
All right, I can now see you. Can you hear me all right, Miss Friend?
All right, well, I'll have to look into it.
You're still muted, though. So if you could ask the jail to unmute you, that'd be awesome.
You could get on it, yeah.
Can you hear us
All right,
now?
now I can hear you. Yes, I can.
Okay. Put it over here. Okay. She's having a hard time standing. I don't feel good.
All right. We are continuing this for till 11/2/2021. They are looking for ways to get you into treatment. And I'm going to tell everybody, if you can get her into treatment sooner, we're going to release her sooner. I want this to be worked on really quickly because I do think I would rather have her in an agency doing something rather than sitting in jail. So we're going to do our best to get her into a treatment program ASAP.
Rachel, okay.
And once a bed day, if there is a bed day, I'm certainly fine with doing ex parte order for that's something that's.
Do you have Apple Care now, Rachel? Are you on any state-assisted health care presently or not really?
Yes. Said yes.
I think Melina.
Molina?
That's the provider.
Yeah, no, I know it is. Yeah, they're out of Portland. Yeah. All right.
That should.
Molina.
I have indicated that she'll be released into treatment as soon as it's available.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So if we can get her into treatment, I'd rather have her there. Ms. Friend, we're going to try to get you into a treatment program as soon as we can, okay? All right, this concludes this hearing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I believe we're ready on Mr. Nair's case.
Mr. Nair?
Nair.
Are we all here?
Good morning, Your Honor. Andrew Huff.
Good morning.
Good morning. I am present and looking for Mr. Nair.
And did you have the one that was signed by them? Oh, here it is. Okay, I think this is the signature.
Yeah, the signature page is separate from the rest of the page. I sent it.
I have the thing. I'll replace the page 2 of yours with the signature page. All right. I have before me a stipulated order of continuance. Counsel, can you go ahead and give your colloquy, and then we will go forward.
Yes, absolutely, Your Honor. And good morning again, Andrew Huff from Mr. Nair. Your Honor, we are prepared to enter into a stipulated order of continuance for the next 6 months. The successful result will be a full and complete dismissal of the charge of cyber stalking. A couple of things that we wanted to make sure was understood specifically by Mr. Nair, and that is this. If there is a violation of this agreement within the next 6 months, and by violation specifically direct contact with Ms. Copeland, he does retain his full and complete rights to challenge the evidence in the case if there is an alleged violation by the court. I know he was a bit concerned about that he did want to retain those rights to challenge the evidence.
I want to correct that. The court would not allege a violation.
Oh, the prosecuting attorney's office.
Yes.
You're correct.
Yeah, I don't do that. No.
You're correct. My mistake, Your Honor. If the city prosecutor alleges a violation, he does retain his full and complete rights to challenge the evidence in the case, contest the allegations against him, including a right to trial. So I think we just wanted to make sure that, again, Mr. Nair had some questions about this, so we just want to make sure that that was placed on the record. But aside from that, he has reviewed these documents. I have answered all his questions, a number of questions that he has had, and we provided answers to him. Mr. Walls has also been very, very helpful in crafting this agreement. I am satisfied that he does understand the agreement he is entering into, the fact that he is waiving the time for trial and allowing this matter to be continued for the next 6 months. And then, again, a successful completion will result in a complete and full dismissal of the charge of cyber stalking. The primary condition, again, is to have no direct contact with Ms. Copeland. Mr. Nair has only been having indirect contact with her attorney for official business, and he will continue to do so and remain in compliance with this agreement. So aside from that, I think he is prepared to enter into this 6-month SOC.
And Mr. Nair, can you turn on your microphone?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning. And you heard what your attorney just told me?
Yes, sir, I did.
And you're entering a contract with the city. And if you comply with that contract, I'm going to dismiss this case.
Your Honor, I just received the page that Mr. Huff forwarded to me literally 10 seconds ago. And I have not had the chance to read it or agree it completely. But I do believe that based on my discussions through email with Mr. Huff today morning, that that we have an agreement that I'm willing to accept, but I still have certain questions. For example, Mr. Huff is not completely knowledgeable about all the legal issues between Ms. Copeland and my
Hold on,
family.
Mr. Nair. Mr. Nair, I think that discussion is probably better with your attorney than on the record. My question is only as to the acceptance of this agreement or not. Do you need to go and talk with Mr. Before you do this?
Yes, I do believe so.
All right, why don't we do that? I'm going to send you two into a breakout room. And when you discuss those issues, I want to make sure nothing else comes out on the record, because my job right now is simply to determine whether the stipulated or continuance goes into effect or not. That's my job right now. Okay?
I understand, Your Honor.
All right. And I don't want anything else on the record because I don't want it to be held against you. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So can we send them to a room?
In the meantime, Mr. Twitchell is on with Mr. Campo-King. I believe we have an agreement. I think we set that over to a DISPO. Is that correct?
Mr. Twitchell? You're on mute. All right. It seems like Mr. Twitchell is currently unavailable. What is our next case?
Ms. Clay is ready. I sent over a plea form on that case, and
we have that.
I believe we are ready to go.
All right. Ms. Clay, are you available?
Yes,
can you
sir.
turn your video and your microphone on? All right.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. You may do your colloquy.
Thank you, Your Honor. For the record, Joseph Cutter on behalf of Ms. Clay, who is present by way of Zoom, as well as myself. We are here today for a change of plea. I anticipate, anticipation of the city's motion to amend the criminal charge of reckless driving to a negligent driving. We did file a statement on defendant on plea guilty to that charge. Can I proceed, Your Honor?
Correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
The city is so amending. I have granted the amendment. You're waiving further formal reading on that matter?
I am waiving for further formal reading on that matter, as well as a filing of a lease complaint, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. You may proceed then.
Thank you, Your Honor. As I did mention, in anticipation of that, Your Honor, we did file with the court a statement on defendant plea of guilty to the amended charge of negligent driving in the first degree. The elements of that crime are operating a motor vehicle in a negligent manner. I did go over this document with Ms. Clay. I did send her a copy. Also reviewed her and answered all questions she had pertaining of it. Most importantly, she does understand that she is waiving her constitutional rights enumerated in paragraph 5. Also, in paragraph 6, she understands the maximum and the minimums for this type of charge, which is 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. In paragraph 6, enumerated A or C, there is a recommendation. With the understanding that that the court is not bound by that recommendation, is simply a recommendation, and if Your Honor sees fit, can send Ms. Clay to the maximum authorized by law. She does understand that there is other conditions that will be placed upon her if the court does require those, all of which, Your Honor, have been completed or in the works of being completed. She's been very proactive. In paragraph 11, it does state in a statement of facts. I did write those statement of facts. However, Ms. Clay is attesting to those statement of facts and is saying that they're more or less true and correct what happened at the day. Also, in paragraph 12, there is a signature line, and Ms. Clay signature electronically did file her signature on that matter or on that paper, Your Honor. All that to say is that I'm present today with Ms. Clay, and I can assure the court she knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily signed this document, even though it was electronically, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Cutter, this indicates it's 90 days and 90 days suspended, and then it says it's a 12-month deferred. Which one is it?
12-month deferred.
Okay.
12-month deferred, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm not going to do the otherwise. All right, so 12-month deferred sentence, and I won't impose it. All right. And this is a drug and alcohol eval and follow-up?
That is correct, Your Honor, and it has already been completed. It did come back NSP, and the court should already have it. If not, Your Honor, it'll be filed again here today. But it's already been completed, and I did forward a copy also to the city, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, and you are Mackenzie Clay?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understood what your attorney just told me?
Yes.
And you understood those really important constitutional rights under number 5 of your statement of defendant on plea of guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are there any you'd like to go over at this time?
No, sir.
And then number 6, there isn't a recommendation. It is only a recommendation. I can impose a maximum penalty. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone made any promises or threats to make you sign this form?
No, sir.
And are you doing so freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And it says under number 11 on 6/27/2021, while in the city of Orting, I drove a motor vehicle in a negligent manner likely to endanger property, and I did this by taking...
I apologize, Your Honor,
tailing a car, and at that time, I was exhibiting the effects of alcohol. I'm only laughing a little bit because my writing's worse than this, but I couldn't read this, so... all right, I'll make the finding the plea of guilty is knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily made. I'll read the police report. All right, based on the police report, I will make the finding that on or about 6/27/2021 in Orting, Washington, the defendant, Mackenzie Clay, committed the crime of negligent driving first degree, and make that finding of guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Anything you'd like to tell me before I proceed to sentencing, ma'am?
No, Your Honor.
All right. And I will just say, when I'm doing this, when I read that report, I'm glad there were no accidents. So I'm hoping that you learned something from that.
I did, Your Honor.
Because, alcohol is a way of getting away from us. So I'm hoping you learned something from that. So the sentence is as follows: 12 months deferred sentence, and at the end, this case is going to be dismissed. And then the fine is $250, the assessments are $225, the criminal conviction fee is $43, and the criminal traffic fee is $102.50. So that's a little over almost $600. If you need time to pay, make monthly payments. If you can't make a payment, you let the court know, and we will work with you. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Obtain a drug and alcohol evaluation. You said it's done, but I haven't seen it, so I'm going to put it within 60 days. And follow any recommended treatment if there is any, but at minimum, I understand you're doing a victims panel and an alcohol drug information school. So those are the minimums. And what are we doing with the no insurance?
Your Honor, saying it's moving to dismiss $25 fee.
All right. So we're going to, with the no insurance, I'm going to enter a order dismissing that, and there's going to be a $25 administrative fee. Upon payment, that case is closed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And unless there's anything else, you both are free to go. Thank you. What's that? Oh, I was just gonna... Of course, I have to remember who this is. I didn't do this. Yeah, I did do it. Wow, look at that. You're just saying it because you can't read my writing. And who is next? Did we already? Yeah, no, that's still here. I see it. Mr. Twitchell?
Yes, can you hear me, Your Honor?
Yes. Yes, and we see you. We're ready on Mr. Campo Payne then?
I believe
Walls has the paperwork.
I have not seen the paperwork.
What'd you say, Mr. Twitchell?
It appeared Mr. Walls did not have the statement on the defendant plea of guilty and the attachments. We've just resent those to him.
Okay.
So if he needs a little bit more time to review that, the court can call other matters it has ready.
Yeah, I need him to, review it or not, because I need him here.
Does the court have the paperwork?
Not yet.
Okay.
So we'll let him review.
Yeah, we thought we had sent it in, but it should be making its way again now.
I see Mr. Lewis is here and Mr. Keller. I'm not sure where we're at on that case.
Okay.
I'm here.
Good morning. And Mr. Lewis?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Walls is inquiring about where we are on that case.
Your Honor, on the Keller matter, I believe we are asking for a continuance of the pretrial hearing.
And to what date?
Today. If we could schedule it for approximately 1 month out.
Any objection, Mr. Walls?
No.
All right, we'll set this for November 2nd at 10 a.m. And that your client will be willing to waive a speedy trial, right?
He is, Your Honor.
All right, and that will be the new commencement date will be on November 2nd. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. November 2nd at 10 a.m. And Mr. Keller, if you could please call the office if you have any questions.
All right. And you are free to go then.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Keller, have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Oh, it's raining. And do you need a few minutes to go over some of these, Mr. Walls? That'd be helpful.
Well,
We got a couple
finish up Mr.
DPs.
Twitchell. I know Mr. Rusnick has some that are ready.
You have continuances?
We do. You want me to call them?
If you have continuances, I can do that.
No,
one.
no. DPs, deferred prosecutions.
I can start reading it. What's the first one?
Mr. Douglas, Paul Douglas, and Allison Walker are both petitions for deferred
All right,
prosecutions.
let me look at Mr. Douglas first.
And Aaron Walker has a DWLS 3 outside the 7 days, so that wasn't rolled in. I don't know what you want to do with that.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Are there signed versions by Mr. Douglas?
No, but he's had them since last night. I think we can inquire and ask him if he has read them any under.
All right. And do you have any, have the proposed orders?
It should be, I sent the whole package out to the court yesterday.
Yeah, I got the petition.
Should be an order on deferred prosecution somewhere in there. We can send it again if we don't have it.
Don't see, I see everything but an order.
I can send one. I can send it. Hold on. Mr. Walls, did you get an order on DP? Or do you want me to send it? I'll send it to you anyway.
I believe so.
Thought so, but yeah.
This is on Douglas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one. I can forward it. Just looking.
Sent.
this one of yours in the back with the baby? Wonder if we can get her out of here pretty soon too. Baby's being quiet now. I was wondering if we could get that one. Who was that one?
What's that?
Who's the one with the baby?
Hammond.
Hammond?
Yeah.
Gail Hammond? Is that what it is? Okay. And you don't have an attorney, right? And are you working on getting your license back? Are you close, do you think? So how much longer do you think you'd need? Yeah. Mr. Walls and Ms. Hammond, do you think that we could do a 3-month continuance on that? That's 8, 9, and 10 on the calendar. Or 9 and 10, excuse me. 9, 10, and 11.
Oh, to do a waiver on her?
Did you figure it out?
It appears the only issue is taking the test.
Okay.
Okay, so 90 days.
You hear that? He said that it looks like on DOL it says basically you have to take the test.
Yeah, no, I take, driving test.
Okay, go ahead and bring the baby up with you. It's okay. Can't imagine Riley just sitting there.
Yep.
So the date is going to be
1/4/22. Does that sound about right?
Is that what our first date in January is?
It is.
Okay.
Understand you're waiving speedy trial, so you know what that means, right? Okay.
Yeah, I have 2 grandkids around that age. I can't imagine them sitting that quiet in a courtroom. I'm not sure what you're doing, but whatever those cookies are, I want some.
Okay, so grab a pen. No, not one of them. One of the clean ones. Yeah, I would just go. But sign there and sign there. This is your speedy trial waiver. This is that you're coming back on that day. So there's 2 places, and then hand that over to Mr. Wall so he can approve it. Right there. Don't put that in the cup. Just put it back over there so they can sanitize it when they're done. Just let him take a peek at it, and then you can hand it
Go
over
ahead
to
and
the
bring
court.
that to her for signature too. You need a pen? Who uses those anymore? Thank you. Okay, she's already signed them all. Go ahead and give her a copy. Thank you very much. You're free to go as soon as you get this copy here. Thank you. Have a good day. Do we have the order on? All right. Thank you. I just need the order on Douglas. Here it is. Matt, what is the court cost on deferred?
I don't know if there's any. Oh, this is not a DUI. But it's not a Title 46, so it's really the same as everything else, Your Honor.
All right.
I was about to say, what's the emergency response fee? But
No, there's no emergency response fee that
not,
I have in this one.
Not that kind of DP. I'm just going to ask the court to impose what standard costs would be in a non-DP case. I think there wouldn't be a standard DV $15 assessment because it's not a conviction either.
Correct. All right. Mr. Douglas, can you hear me? Paul Douglas?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Good morning. All right, I have before me A petition for deferred prosecution, Mr. Rusnick indicates you have had that document. Is that correct?
I don't think I have.
Never been
I've
emailed to
never
me.
received it.
I sent it to you yesterday by email.
Yeah, I just looked at my email, seeing if you had anything there. There's nothing there.
Did it go to junk mail?
All right.
I will check real
Search for my email. I know we've been emailing back and forth, so you have my email in there. If you just search it, it'll be the most recent thing in your queue from me.
All right. We will need him to go through that, and then if we can get to it today, otherwise we may have to set it over for him to read that and understand it.
Okay. We also have Dylan Stiles on. I think he's on for pretrial, and I see him online.
Right.
I'm going to ask for a 2-week set over. He's not my client yet, but he's going to retain me. He doesn't get paid till Friday, so no retainer, no NOA, so that should be effectuated by the next hearing.
Mr. Stiles, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Rusnick indicates you're going to hire him, so we're continuing for 2 weeks. Is that your understanding?
Yes.
All right, and on here, that is an excluded period for speedy trial purposes. What that means is that doesn't count towards your 90-day speedy trial right. Okay?
Okay.
And you said 15, you said 2 weeks.
That's he just waiting to get paid on Friday to take care of that.
So we're going to go to October 19th at 10 o'clock a.m.
What was happening?
All right, Mr. Stiles, I've signed that order. You're free to go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Stiles. And has Mr. Nair come back yet? Mr. Nair, you and your attorney back, Mr. Huff?
Hi, Your Honor. Andrew Huff, I am back.
Your Honor, yes, I am back too.
All right, so what are we doing?
So, Your Honor, we were wondering if we could set this over for 2 weeks. Mr. Nair wants just some additional time to review some of the language in this agreement. And to be fair, Mr. Walls and I were sort of negotiating this language all the way up to this morning. So I can sort of understand maybe why he wants some additional time. So if you'd be willing to set this over for 2 weeks, I think we will have a deal at that time.
My only issue is we've sent out 200 jury trial requests, and we've got actually people responding. And now that would prolong the trial again, correct?
Yeah, Mr. Walls expressed serious concern, similar concerns as well. And I apologize for this. I truly thought we were going to be resolving this today.
Does the court want to set up a Blue Jeans hearing sooner than that? Like Thursday afternoon?
How long will it take, Mr. Nair? Can we do it this afternoon after he's had a chance to go through it? Can we do it around 2 o'clock?
Mr. Nair, did you hear that? Would that be enough time for you?
Your Honor, I just received the stipulated order of continuance today morning while the hearing was going on. And I do have a number of questions and concerns about it, and I do not wish to be waiving my rights prematurely and regret it later. So
I understand that, Mr. Nair. My problem is I do have a trial date set, and I'm not really willing to change it again because I have all the jurors ready to go. I'm not really inclined to continue the trial date. So,
If you could kindly give me 1 week time to determine whether to accept this continuous, I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be agreed on and overall. And I probably will reach an agreement, but I still do not want to do it, in a haphazard way.
Court one special set a hearing on the 12th. Is that enough time?
Believe it or not, my calendar is as full of yours. Let's look here.
Hey,
Let me look here. Is everyone available at 3 o'clock on the 12th?
Defense is, Your Honor.
Mr. Walls? All right, we'll do it 3 o'clock on the 12th.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do appreciate that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
We'll
All right.
see you on the 12th.
We'll see you on the 12th. Can you send me the link? I should ask Devin. To my email. So this is 10/12, right? Hope I was looking at the right day. Because if I'm done, I'll come down here.
they did pay for part of it.
So,
You sign that one.
yes.
PBK. Yeah, Carpel is the company. Yeah, they have a defense version. K. I think we got a discount.
I like the linking function.
Yeah.
What is that, another deferred? Oh, are they signed? All right. Who's the attorney? This is Mr. Is this the final stuff on Mr. Campo Payne?
Yeah, I think I sent over the final signed copy that has
All
all the
right.
signatures on it.
Mr. Twitchell?
Yes, Your Honor. Can you hear me?
It looks like, yes, it looks like I have the signed agreement now. If you want to do your colloquy, I am ready to listen.
Thank you. For the record, Dennis Twitchell, this will be a plea to the amended charge of reckless driving, that from amended down from DUI.
All right, we'll take that amendment, Mr. Walls. You're moving to amend?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, then I will so amend to reckless driving. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Obviously, we have no objection. I've gone through the statement of defendant plea of guilty in its entirety with Mr. Campo. We've read together each in paragraph, paying particular attention to the paragraph 5, the important constitutional rights he is giving up by entering a plea today. Also, paragraph 6, the agreed recommendation. Mr. Campo understands the court does not have to accept that recommendation, and in fact could impose the maximum sentence of 364 days and a $5,000 fine. Although I wrote what makes him guilty of reckless driving in paragraph 11, he is adopting that statement as his own. I've also gone over the immigration consequences with Mr. Campo, and I believe he's proceeding knowingly and intelligently.
Thank you. Are you Andy Campo Payne?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you heard what your attorney just told me?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are aware of those very important constitutional rights under number 5? Are you aware of those very important constitutional rights under number 5 of the form you signed?
Go ahead, Your Honor.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. Are you aware of the very important constitutional rights listed in number 5 of that order you signed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are there any you'd like to go over at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Under number 6, there is a recommendation. It is only a recommendation. I can impose up to the maximum penalty. Do you understand that?
I do understand, Your Honor.
You understand this plea of guilty will result in a suspension or revocation of your license for an additional 30 days?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone made any promises or threats to make you sign this form?
Absolutely not, Your Honor.
And you're doing so freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
And under number 11 says, on or about 8/19/2021 in the city of Orting, Washington, I was driving my vehicle in a reckless manner with willful and wanton disregard for the safety of property when I drove over the fog line and I displayed the odor, it says odor, but I think that's odor of alcohol when contacted by the police. Is that a true and correct statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'll make a finding that the plea of guilty is knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily made, and I will read the police report. Thank you. Based on the police report, I will make the finding that on or about 8/19/2021 in Orting, Washington, defendant Andy Campo Payne committed the crime of reckless driving. I'll make that finding of guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Is there anything you'd like to tell me before I proceed to sentencing, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
I feel horribly upset with myself that I've got myself into this situation again. I am in 100% compliance with the alcohol treatment program that I'm in. I believe in it. I believe that I can get back onto that track of being sober after several years. I'm not sure how I got myself into this situation, but I'm working on getting myself back to being on the right path. I don't think that you will ever see me again after this, and I apologize to the court.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
And Your Honor, if I may add,
Yes.
yeah, I just wanted to point out that when this happened in August, Andy immediately went out, got evaluated, entered into an intensive outpatient 1-year treatment program was stopped. He's 100% in compliance. We have filed those compliance reports. He also, on his own initiative, installed the ignition interlock device in his vehicle. There have been absolutely no violations on the ignition interlock. I think he's demonstrated that he knows how serious of a situation this is, that he's doing what it takes to maintain a sobriety. I've known Andy for many years, and I know that he's had many years of sobriety. This was, to say the least, an unfortunate incident, but I think he's doing and demonstrating to the court, as he said, that he won't be before the court again in this type of capacity. Thank you.
Thank you. There's no ECR on Mr. Campo Payne.
I didn't see any, Your Honor.
What's that?
I didn't see any emergency response costs, but that doesn't mean that there are some, but I didn't see any in discovery.
All right. You hear that, Mr. Twitchell?
I did not, Your Honor.
It's 685-34.
No objection.
Was the victim panel done?
It was,
Yep.
Your Honor, and we've submitted proof.
I'm just checking to see if I see it here. I have the stop. I think this might be it. It's clearly in treatment.
I believe VIP was completed on September 4th.
Mr. Twitchell, you have seen the proof of the victim's impact panel?
Yes, and it was.
I just didn't see it yet, but I'm not willing to. I'm going to take your word for it, and I will find that that's done.
Yeah, I believe it was faxed to the court on September 7th.
Yeah,
We'll resend it.
Like I said, no, you don't have to, because like I said, if you're telling me it's done, I'm going to believe you.
It was.
All right, I am have completed the orders. The orders are as follows. Made a find of guilty to the crime of reckless driving. Sentence is suspended for a period of 24 months on the following condition: 364 in jail with 358 suspended, $5,000 fine with 4,500 suspended. The jail is a total of 6 days in electronic home monitoring. I don't know if it's started yet. Is that correct? There's no starting yet, has there, Mr. Twitchell?
No, we would ask for 30 days for Andy to get hooked up.
The fine is $500. The assessment's $450. The alcohol violator fee, DUC, is $250. The criminal traffic fee is $102.50, and the ERC is $685.34. Mr. Campo Payne, are you currently employed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and these fines are, around $1,300, actually probably a little higher. No, it's about $1,800. So if you can't make it, just make payments. If you can't make a payment, please contact the court and we will work with you, okay?
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, and so the conditions are: you shall not drive a motor vehicle without a valid license and proof of insurance. You shall not drive or be in physical control of a motor vehicle with an alcohol concentration of 0.08 or more, or THC concentration of 5 nanograms per milliliter whole blood or higher within 2 hours after driving. You shall submit to the breath or blood test upon the reasonable request of a police officer, and you have no criminal law violations or alcohol-related infractions. I've indicated to obtain a substance abuse evaluation, but I've indicated that's done. Also do a DUI victims panel. I've indicated that's done. So what you need to do is start with continuing the treatment. I see you've already done it. Frankly, sir, not many people do this much this quick. Very good. I'm glad you took this seriously and you're in the position you are today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And realistically, the only time I want to see you is for compliance hearings, and that's it. I'm anticipating you're going to keep in compliance. So good luck to you. Hope this is a valuable lesson. This is never going to happen again. I hope I hope that happens. Thank you. Have a good day.
Your Honor,
oh wait, there is a infraction. Is that being dismissed?
Right. We wanted to address the improper lane travel. Although Mr. Walls and I may have emailed each other.
The DUI, wouldn't that be part of
it? Ask that it can be dismissed.
We are dismissing. I consider it part of the DUI, the action. So I will dismiss the infraction of improper lane travel.
And finally, Your Honor, with the ignition interlock device, may the court give permission for it to be removed, since he is in treatment with monitored UA.
I haven't ordered in this for the temporary orders. The temporary orders are set aside, and so any conditions under the temporary orders are hereby absolved. So I'm assuming that was ordered under the temporary order?
I believe so, Your Honor.
And so the only reason he would need a ignition interlock device if it's required by the DOL.
Correct.
So I've set aside the temporary order requiring the interlock device. All right. Anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. You are all free to go. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. All right. So that is done. That's done. DeAndre Blackwell. All right. DeAndre Blackwell. Can you hear me?
I'm here.
Good morning.
I'm here. Good morning.
All right. So how long do you think you'll need? Mr. Blackwell?
You said what?
How much longer do you think you'll need to get your license?
Couple months.
Think it'll take you that long to test? Okay. I will set this over to the December 7th date, but you'll be required to waive your right to a speedy trial. You're willing to do so.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we will restart the speedy trial date on December 7th, and that'll be your new commencement date. All right. So let's work on getting that, and so you can stop coming and seeing us. All right.
Yep. Thank you, sir.
All right. You're free to go. Can you hear us, Cameron? Hook? You're on mute.
Here.
All right, I can hear you now, I think. All right. So, Mr. Hook, the city is moving to amend this to an infraction upon paying 100. If you plead committed, the fine is $139 and your case would be closed. You want to do that today?
Sure.
All right. So,
I
so
don't have to
amended.
pay that today, though, right?
You don't have to pay it today.
Okay.
No, I mean the case is closed because you don't have to come to court anymore.
Yeah, I have my license and everything now.
Great. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
And there's a speeding ticket tracking this. Let me take a look at your. All right. Do you have a commercial driver's license?
No, regular.
All right. So if you wanted to, on your speeding ticket, I can do what they call a deferred fining. That means you pay $175, have no tickets for 12 months. I would dismiss your case. Do you want to do that?
So $175, and then just no more infractions for 12 months. And
Yep.
then drop
I would
the case?
dismiss the case.
Sure. That works.
And then it doesn't go on your record, doesn't affect your insurance.
All right.
All right. So we will do that. And again, you can make payments on that as well.
Yep.
All right. So just call the court and arrange payments, and they'll set up a plan for you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Am I free to go now?
Yes, you're free to go. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Ms. Hervatin? Ms. Hervatin, as long as you're on mute, we can't hear you. It's on your little microphone. There should be a little microphone with a red line on it. Go ahead and touch that.
Oh, shoot.
I hear you.
Oh, my God.
Don't touch it again.
Oh, is that we on?
Yeah, you're on.
Hi. Okay, good. This is confusing, boy. Anywho. Can you still hear me?
Yes, we're going through it. So the city has indicated that you're here to quash a warrant, so we're quashing the warrant. He's also indicated you have your license back.
I do not.
You don't have your license back?
No, that's not figure. This is such a big mess. I got to explain this. You got some time?
Hold on a second.
DOL is showing the license has been reinstated at this point.
The Department of Licensing is showing that your license has been reinstated.
It does still show that there's a civil claim out there, but for whatever reason, it is no longer in a suspended status.
So your license is no longer in suspended status.
Okay, this is
Hold
what I
on,
want.
hold on. Just let the prosecutor finish.
So the city is
All right.
moving to amend to no license on person, RCW 462001.
So the city is moving to amend this to an infraction, and upon paying $139, this case will be closed. Do you want to do that today?
Well, I'm not so sure. Because I shouldn't have got the suspension in the first place. It's been a mistake. That my license should have never been suspended. Then I wouldn't have had to pay 2 court fees for Your Honor putting a warrant out for me twice. That should have never happened. And there's a lot of other fees, and for a whole year and a half now. I'm so mad over it all.
Ma'am,
Yes.
I know you're mad at it all, but the reality is I'm not the DOL. We are just the city of Orting, and we follow what the rules are. And when something's in front of me, I have to do what I do with every other person.
Right.
And in this
Well, you know,
instance,
right. I was never legally suspended ever from the DMV. I was given car insurance, tabs. I was renewed my license. I was given what do you call it? My registration with a suspended license because nobody checked the DLL. Even my car insurance, I had 2 different car insurance companies and homeowners, all bundles, and they insured me and didn't even check to see if I didn't have a license. And I was suspended the whole time. But everybody was giving me everything anyway. So I never realized I was even suspended. I never even got a notice telling me I was suspended. Never received nothing. So I drove for a whole year without a license, which I'm 60 years old. I've had a license for 44 years. I would have never not went with the law and not had my license if I knew it was suspended, but I never knew. So this whole time it's been a nightmare. I must have been a glitch, I guess, and went right through the crack somewhere. But so then I was given charges for this and that and that and this, and I shouldn't have had to pay. And it wouldn't matter if it's 10 cents or $1 million. I shouldn't have had to pay it. That's why I'm so mad.
I am going to set this to the infraction calendar, and you can argue your case on the infraction calendar then. We will set that for 30 days, which is going to be at 1:30 p.m. on November 2nd.
What is an infraction calendar, please?
That is a ticket calendar as opposed to a criminal calendar. This is no longer a criminal case. It's now an infraction.
So, but I do have my license,
Yes.
supposedly.
Well, if they said it's reinstated.
Crazy. That's so crazy. I was never notified of it. How can this be? I mean, I'm happy about it, but I don't understand how this happened.
Yeah, again, that's a DOL, and unfortunately, I don't have any control over the Department of Licensing.
So just call. Do you have a number, please, where information was given from the DOL, so I can call them and try to reference some of this?
I think you just have to look it up generally online, find the Department of Licensing. I don't have a number.
No, I mean, which one reissued my license? Which deal? You don't know which deal?
The state of Washington. It's the state
I'm
of Washington.
sorry.
So any agency that you call will have the information because it's a state issue.
Oh, I see.
Any DOL. It doesn't matter if it's Puyallup or Auburn or whatever. Any of them will do it. Actually, Auburn's.
Now, if I want to just alleviate this whole big nightmare, I just pay $130. Is that what you're saying? I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand.
Well, if you didn't want to come back to court, since you have no other record, actually, it's I would actually do a deferred sentence if you wanted to pay more, and it would never go on your record, but it's $175 if you want to do a deferred finding.
Now, because of course, if that goes on my record, that puts my insurance rates up.
Yeah, if you want to do a deferred finding, I do a deferred finding for 6 months. After 6 months, the case would be dismissed.
So for 6 months, you're saying don't get in any trouble with suspension of a license?
Yeah, I don't get a ticket for 6 months.
I mean, a ticket.
Yeah.
So, and for $179, and you guys just goes up.
$175, that the case would be dismissed. Yes.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
All right, I'll do that, and I will send it to you. You don't have to pay it right away. You'll have time to pay. Okay.
Okay. Well, if I call the court this morning, though, Orting Court, can I just pay it over the phone?
You can, and you'll have to do it after court, so it won't be until about 3 o'clock that they're available.
All right. Let's be done with it. Okay. Thank you for listening to me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I understand. This is frustrating.
It has been. Have a good rest of the day. Thank you.
You too.
It appears the last person is.
But it's no license on person.
Ms. Nelson, if you can unmute.
Hi, sorry.
Ms. Nelson, I see your license is clear, but you need to, it says no, hold on. It's expired, so you need to retest to get that reissued.
Oh, okay.
How long do you think it will take you to do that?
Like a month.
Probably 2 because
Yeah.
I'm not sure you can get into an appointment that quick. So let's go ahead and, Ms. Nelson, if you would like, if you're willing to waive your right to speedy trial, I'll set this out to December 7th.
Okay.
All right, and that means that your speedy trial right would start again on that day. Do you want to do that? Ma'am? Is
Yes.
that what you want to do? Okay.
Yeah. Got it.
So you want to fill out that order? There's 7 numbers. We're doing a continuance till December 7th. I can do this sign. Yep, and all right, thank you, ma'am. You're free to go.
Thanks.
And then Mr. Smith. And Christopher Smith is on.
Right.
Yes, I'm here.
Did you get your registration taken care
of? So I have about $3,000 in fines and past tolls. Of that, I have $1,300 taken care of, and I'm wondering if I can have about 60 more days to take care of the remaining $1,700.
Yes, you do have a right to have your case resolved within 90 days of your arraignment. But I would agree to set this over for 60 days if you agree to essentially restart the speedy trial then.
Yeah, I have no objections to that.
All right.
That would
we'll set the December 7th, 2021. And this is Christopher, what was the last name?
Smith.
Christopher Smith. All right. So 7.
I think the rest are yours.
Yeah, take a minute. Well, let's do, we can do McLean because he's in court. We can do Mr. Zuniga Romero quickly. Yeah.
He is.
They have your one more thing.
One. There we go. All right, that's Mr. Smith. That one is just, I don't want to give you this back because it would be unlike me. All right, and who are we on?
This is Anthony McLean. That's numbers 31 and 32 on the calendar. Cause numbers XZ0627570 and 1A0563347. The first cause number actually is in SOC status. The other one is the one that's actually technically still in pretrial. They're both technically pretrial, but the one we're dealing with today, and that is the charge of reckless driving. Mr. McLean will be entering an SOC on that aforementioned case. He understands that essentially what he's doing is entering a contract with the city of Orting, and upon his successful completion of the requirements of the SOC in 12 months' time, the city will be amending to negligent driving second degree with an agreed fine of $550 and close upon payment of fines. As part of that, a collateral consequence would be they stipulates in the other case to the revocation with the same conditions that are on the SOC.
Well, this says the fine of $250 enclosed.
Yeah, you changed it? Okay. That was nice. I appreciate it, and I know Mr.
Now, since the other one is revoked, are we sentencing on the other one, or is it?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are, and basically same conditions.
Right, exactly.
Mr. Mclean understands, even though he's familiar with the process and procedure for an SOC, I'm going to go through the colloquy and say that he does understand that by doing this, he's waiving a number of important constitutional rights, the right to go to trial, the right to a jury trial, the right to have witnesses testify on his behalf, the right to confront and cross-examine witnesses testifying against him, the right to remain silent at trial, and of course, because it is an SOC, most importantly, his right to a speedy trial. He is making those waivers knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily. He does stipulate to the admissibility of the police report in this matter to be included in the case file. So at such time, if this SOC is subsequently revoked, the court will be looking at that police report, and essentially that will be his trial. In all likelihood, whoever's on the bench, yourself or another judge, will find him guilty. And that's a long way to get to the short answer that he is permanently waiving his right to contest this by way of trial. That said, I think he is prepared to go forward.
Thank you. And Mr. McLean, you heard what your attorney just told me.
Yes.
And you understand this is a contract between you and the city?
Yes.
And if you violate the contract, I revoke the contract and make a finding guilty on the underlying offense. You understand that?
Yes.
Is this the way you wish to proceed?
Yes.
All right. We have signed off on that SOC. Let's go to the all right, and we're sentencing under, I believe it's 570.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Under 570. And so there was an SOC. There it is. Okay, so I can't find it. All right. So that required 10 hours of community service. Anger management, do I have proof of that being done here? Correct? You seen that?
Yes.
Okay. And do we have any indication on the community service?
Your Honor, parties are agreeing to revoke the SOC as part of the
Right.
new SOC agreement. He did do the community service and the anger management, so the city is not asking for an additional sentence other than no law violations comply with the new SOC.
No additional fines, no additional costs.
Right.